Volunteers travel 24 hours journey to distribute rice bags in Philippines. Global smart clothes market is expecting to grow 5 times larger to 25 million units by 2022. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Maggie Tai. Thank you for joining us. After 13,000 bags of rice from Taiwan arrived in Ormoc, Philippines, Suji volunteers began their rice distribution to solve the insufficient food problems for the local. Volunteers from Manila also joined to help as they had traveled a 24-hour journey on the bus to get to the distribution site.
20 volunteers in Manila listened to Dhamma lessons before they set out. Although they have to travel more than 900 kilometers, they are full of joy because they are going to deliver love.
I want to practice the teaching of Master Zheng Yan. I should treat people kindly and have the compassion to help others. So I have made a vow, as long as I am still healthy, I will continue to do it.
Gagawin ko pa rin ito.
After a 24-hour journey, people who welcome the volunteers are those they are familiar with. The volunteers once traveled from afar to help the residents affected by Typhoon Haiyan. On this day, the volunteers came once again to help deliver 13,000 bags of rice that is from Taiwan. Some of the volunteers accompanied the man who is paralyzed in his right leg to receive the rice.
Thank you very much for the rice you have given me. It can sustain me for a month.
When the woman arrived home, she immediately poured out a large part of rice and gave it to the old lady who lives nearby.
After I received the rice, I shared it with my neighbor because she did not receive any aid supplies.
Love can still be sent to the needy places despite the long distance. The satisfying smile is the volunteer's best reward.
In Cambodia, there is an organization that tags children from 8 to 12 years old. The organization teaches children English, math, and other subjects after the students finish their regular school hours so they can be more competitive. They also connect the students with an environment program to learn about the importance of environmental protection. Guess how the students pay for the tuition? The answer is collecting recyclables.
The children are playing innocently near the lake. In Cambodia, public schools are half-day and do not provide lunches. The children are happy to play with water once they return home. The girls are selling wreaths made with colorful flowers to the tourists. This is a tourist district nearly 100 miles away from Phnom Penh. Making wreaths is a way for children to help support their families. However, some people are willing to make changes. The children are learning English and many other principles from this school principal and teacher.
We come here because we want to give them opportunity to study English and culture and connect them with environment problem and teach them how to take care of your climate change, your earth and your environment.
Besides learning languages, the children also learn to cherish their hometown. Can you tell? The picture of an elephant is made with the bases of soda pop. This part is made with the caps of PET bottles. The Cambodian national flag is made with recyclables as well.
Just like this, we got from the kid. Kid collect for me. It's so dirty and smells not good. But we don't care. We clean it. We clean because we can use many things like a picture or a temple.
PET bottles can be used as tuition. The children bring as many as they can. This disposable material can be used as a rattan frame in the vegetable garden. With creativity, they can be turned into decorations. The 12-year-old girl is happy cutting the bottle in her hands. With some simple steps, the PET bottle can be turned into a colorful flower.
I am cutting up PET bottles and turning them into flowers.
The teachers teaches English and environmental concepts, giving elementary school and junior high school students a different learning opportunity. At Xihua Public School, which is 2 hours right away from Phnom Penh, Chinese is taught. The 30-year-old teacher has been teaching Chinese for 11 years. He graduated from the school.
Since my family is impoverished, I decided to learn Chinese because with Chinese abilities, I could find a better job.
Learning Chinese and finding a better job is also the dream shared by the nearly 700 students at Qihua Public School. According to statistics, workers in Cambodia earn about $100 a month, and college graduates make about $200. Nevertheless, with language abilities, one can work as a translator and make $200 a month. Whether it is learning the correct principles on language, education is enhancing the competitiveness of the children, allowing them to pursue a better future.
A delegation consisting of a Christian group from Kenya in Eastern Africa recently visited many countries. One of the countries they visited is Malaysia, as well as the Tzu Chi Ho in Kuala Lumpur. After volunteers in Sri Lanka and Kuala Lumpur shared Tzu Chi's footprints of love with the delegation, every one of them adopted a coin bank and promised that they will continue to save up to help the less fortunate people.
A Christian group from Kenya formed a delegation of 10 members to visit Malaysia. One of the places they visited is the Tzu Chi Ho in Kuala Lumpur.
This is the love that we give to, Syrian refugees.
Volunteers share stories about Tzu Chi's bamboo bank era and its 4 missions.
You are doing a lot of things in helping people to have a dignified life. There are people who have lost hope because they think that nobody cares for them. And now we have seen that this is an organization that cares for people until they feel that they are important and they are able to smile.
That is great wealth, and we are able to reach out to many people. From the church where I come from, if that can be replicated, it's one of a very assured ways of raising our own resources to be able to support very poor people that are within our midst.
Members of the delegation immediately carry out the acts of giving, working together to help people who are suffering.
In the aftermath of severe forest fire in Portugal, Tzu Chi volunteers from different parts of the world traveled to the country to carry out disaster relief work. They've also held a free clinic calming the fire victims' anxious mind. Recently, this group of Tzu Chi volunteers returned to Hualien Jingsi abode to report to Master Zheng Yan about this mission and their experiences.
In February this year, at the 2 distributions in Portugal, 28 young volunteers came to help out, so the events were carried out smoothly.
Our organization is very detail-oriented, and we carry out our promises. Everyone was carrying the work mindfully. They must have felt it as well.
People doubted Tzu Chi before the 8 distributions, but the volunteers did not give up. They continued to communicate with the government and the care recipients. Finally, 491 affected families received needed help.
When the temperature was below 0, we put the scarves on them. I believe they felt warm both physically and spiritually.
Volunteers from 7 European countries carry out this disaster relief mission. The local government representative also gives Master Zheng Yan a black pottery to express their gratitude.
慈济的种子撒播在葡萄牙，慈济人总是无私大爱，不偏倚，不做自己的人情。我们是为需要的很正确的方向。
While the wildfire victims in Portugal are still working to rebuild their homes, Tzu Chi volunteers will help train local volunteers so they can continue helping the local residents.
A patient in Daling Tzu Chi Hospital was transferred from internal medicine to surgical division. However, his doctor has continued to care for him after the surgery and even after he was released from the hospital. The spirit of love is the core value of the hospital and what keeps the doctor carries on the mission to guard the public's health. Greeting cheerfully, this is the patient Dr. Zheng Guozhi transferred out to the surgical division from internal medicine. Today he is being released from the hospital. Dr. Zheng comes to give him congratulations, especially because the love and care never stops.
Being responsible starts from stopping complaining. The solution can start from ourselves or from others, and together we do more for others and make it perfect.
practice the core value of putting the patient first and do the right things and do it well. This is what the course teaches, and Dr. Chen Bo-Chen has deep reflections from it.
It teaches me to consider things from every different angle and find the direct or indirect ways to solve problems.
To realize the goal of holistic medicine, Daling Hospital continues to host training courses to offer doctors better medical methods, as well as gathering the spirit of love in the hospital.
To do the right thing, you can't just start from scratch. We must understand the logic behind everything first. It's not out of request, but something I'm willing to do wholeheartedly.
Treat the patient as a teacher and give medical care with love and consideration. This is the ideology for these doctors to guard the public's health. Can you imagine your clothes can monitor your body condition and make you healthier? Taiwan is a major textile manufacturing country, which is functioning fabrics well known on the world stage. More textile mills are taking these fabrics and infusing them with science and technology to produce smart garments used in many fields. ITRI estimates that global shipment of smart clothes in 2017 was less than 5 million units, but will grow to 25 million by 2022.
This lets you clearly see my current aerobic and anaerobic habit. It will be expressed in a color and also records time and tracks the entire exercise.
This is a smart clothing system for people who like sports. Why is it called a system? Because it includes a number of parts working together. First of all, physiological data will be collected through this braided metal spun yarn, which is then sent to a receiver on the front of the chest on smart clothing, which is then sent via Bluetooth to an app on a smartphone. In fact, major textile companies have gradually invested in research and development, and several big manufacturers have their own know-how. For example, Texray has designed smart clothing for elders, and FET has developed DynaFeed smart clothing, which can connect to a network. Eclat has developed iSmartwear in conjunction with eTreat, promoting healthy functions, and Runtai has developed smart clothing for elders, indicating the era of smart clothing has arrived.
The estimated global shipments for smart clothing market are estimated to be less than 5 million in 2017. By 2022, we estimate that the number will grow to about 25 million. The compound growth rate for this year is probably about 45%.
eTree's iSmartwear won the RD100 award, which is known as the Oscars of the science and technology industry, indicating it was a global top 100 innovation. The key technological breakthrough was that this clothing could collect physiological data without clinging to the body.
We have a very important breakthrough, and that was ITRI's Measurement Center developed mini low-power radar for measurement, so our clothes can be loose-fitting, as there will be no feeling of discomfort.
eTree's smart clothes system uses a controller to send pulse signals to the antenna, and then uses low-power mini radar to obtain human physiological data. Therefore, it is not necessary to keep close to the skin for measurement. The controller is hidden in the chest pocket. As for the antenna, it is actually printed on the fabric. To see more, we have to go into the laboratory. In less than 30 seconds, antenna with conductive function is printed. It seems simple, but the core technology lies in developing the formula, which is a layer of nano-silver coating. It's quite complicated.
This nano-silver is dispersed in a washable, conducive, adhesive form to connect to a network. In the case of low concentration, a highly conductive adhesive is formed.
The antenna will be printed on the cloth by hot pressing. After adding the antenna to a textile, the fabric is quite soft and comfortable to wear.
If you don't have this cloth, it's traditionally put onto a hardboard.
This antenna printed on this textile is thought to be water and washing resistant. But does it really have this effect? Let's do a test with water. I'll turn on a tap and put it underwater, and it looks the same. After some washing, the cloth is still wet, but it's really conductive. Let's try it and test it out.
After 5 minutes, antenna fabric has been completely dried and is tested for conductivity. The answer is?
The resistance is very low. It is not less than 1 ohm. This is the resistance value we need to receive the signal and set the signal in an antenna printed on textile.
At present, the main application of smart clothing is in one of the 4 major categories: healthcare, sports and fitness, security protection, military fire department, and lifestyles such as consumer electronics.
We've tested for almost a year and a half. IDRI's piece still needs improvement. The piece on my clothing still needs a little fine-tuning. We can already do it.
它这个就没有经过再染色了。它工业衣服现在全世界大概60%用台湾的布。
Taiwan's functional clothing is well known in the world. And Ray Lin, Taiwan Garment Association Secretary General, is optimistic about the future market for smart clothing.
It's difficult as we need to give the fabric to the end user and ask if it is effective. There are many difficulties we can experience in the process. For example, the privacy of the patient. The doctor also questions the accuracy of the data it collects.
Since 2016, Taiwan's major textile mills have been investing in smart clothing, which are about to enter the testing stage. After overcoming many difficulties, they have gradually seen results in practical applications. Although the difficulty of research and development as well as the cost of capital are quite high, all these textile companies are quite optimistic about the size of this market.
Communal meals for the elderly in Mingshan Borough, Yonghe, New Taipei City has stopped for months due to the location problems. Nonetheless, on March 25th, the borough had invited close to 100 residents to Shoulang Elementary School in Yonghe for another communal meal. Tzu Chi volunteers co-organized the event and went there to introduce how plastic bottles could be turned into blankets.
The borough had invited the seniors in the borough to come for the communal meals. The elderly are eager to come. It is a rare opportunity for everyone to come together.
When you try to escape in case of earthquake, will you bring your comforter? No. Will you bring your jacket? Probably not enough time either. Some people escape in barefoot.
They learn about how eco-friendly blankets are made. This suggests that love and compassion can also begin in communities.
To encourage people to reduce their use of plastic, Tzu Chi volunteers in Suzhou, China organized a humanitarian class where they teach their children and their parents how to reduce the use of plastic bags. In addition to educating them about environmental protection, Tzu Chi volunteers also teach them how to turn discarded resources into useful items.
Whether or not this familiar dialogue is common heard in your home, since people nowadays are busy with work, ordering takeout has become the daily routine of each family. Suzhou volunteers encourage people to reduce plastic waste through dramas.
I'm usually busy and I feel too lazy to cook, so I order takeout very often. After performing the drama today, I should try my best not to order takeaways.
I used to order takeaway very often, just like my mom did, but I later realized that the plastic bags used for takeout food bring great damage to the earth. I will try my best not to order takeaway in the future.
Besides presenting dramas, volunteers also teach everyone to make the storage box of plastic bags with unused PET bottles.
After compressing the plastic bags to save the storage space, we can put them into the PET bottle.
When we go out to buy groceries, we can draw out a plastic bag directly. It's very convenient and eco-friendly. We can reduce the usage of plastic bags when we go out.
The humanitarian class in Suzhou teaches the children and their parents how to turn disposable materials into useful items.
In Thailand, Tzu Chi volunteers have been conducting classes that promote the spirit of serving the public. Recently, they've been invited to host a class at a school in Bangkok where teachers learned about recycling and the importance of cherishing resources such as water. Let's join them there.
In this class, the teachers experience pregnancy by tying balloons to their waists. Then they watch a film about the water shortage problem in Gansu before carrying water and memorizing Jing Si aphorisms. This is an environmental protection class Tzu Chi volunteers in Thailand have designed for teachers.
The first thing we want to improve are environmental activities at the school. We want the students to collect recyclables.
To promote the spirit of serving, Tzu Chi volunteers also share the story of a famous teacher in China, Ma Wenzhong.
Ma Wenzhong's story has inspired me as a teacher. It gives me a clear direction for me to know how to help the children.
The teachers learn through doing, and they've been inspired to protect the environment, as well as sharing these environmental concepts.
2 World Kidney Day events were held at Tzu Chi's Dialysis Center in Penang and Butterworth, Malaysia. The Jing Si humanitarian team also invited to demonstrate how to make Jing Si instant rice as well as brew out Jing Si grain powder. This way, dialysis patients and their family members can learn about the importance of a healthy diet.
On World Kidney Day, the Jing Si humanitarian team from Malaysia was invited for the first time to demonstrate how to cook Jing Si products.
Today I came here and I had the chance to taste Jing Si products. I've also understood how to cook them for my family. Tzu Chi often holds a variety of activities, so now I understand the importance of health, and I also start to care for my health.
The volunteers demonstrate how to cook Jing Si products. The brewing method for cooking is strange to some residents. However, one of the residents has used the method for more than 10 years.
I have to drive the bus for a long distance, so I often eat the Jing Si products at the shop. Sometimes when I go to Kelantan, Johor Bahru, or Singapore, I can eat them there. If I place some of them on the bus, it will be easier and faster for me to prepare the food on the bus, as I only need to cook it for 20 minutes.
It's hard to brew up ordinary grain powder. It takes me about 15 to 20 minutes every morning to have it completely dissolved. This is the first time I've seen you demonstrate. It's really easy to brew the products. It is much easier than I have imagined because I have to spend a lot of time brewing up the ordinary grain powder.
After getting to know a healthy diet, one can truly stay away from illnesses.
New Taipei City Education Department hosts a culinary competition to promote less food waste and encourage participants to reuse the material to make creative dishes. We will leave you with these images and thank you for joining us.